Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin with Elliott Wave Theory. Let's start with this 15-minute time frame and looking at the count from these lows of 15.5k around the 21st of November. Since then we had an invalidation yesterday with the CPI pump, where we had this as a main idea, where we had this as a an ABC into a W, then three-way pullback into potential A wave. Then I was looking for this either being A, B and C, or this would be an A and lower degree A, B and then C wave here for this to be an A, B and C. The reason was just because I was expecting a structure here not to take out these lows here, and I was looking to create this into a three-way structure here, or three-way structure like this, and then we would be looking to create something else. But again, that did not play out, and the actual thing that actually made this invalid is the retracement for this B wave. Again, we would be comparing this wave A here as a retracement for that B wave, and if it goes beyond the 1.618, then I invalidate this count completely, and I'm no longer looking at this. So that was the idea there. So this is invalidated now. We had a couple of different other ideas, and let's go through those. One idea was that we had an ABC here into W. This would be the complete X wave. Now again, this is kind of short and very shallow, missing the 382 here on log and arithmetic scale, and also not really too long. But again, it is decent size in time. Not really good on the price retracement though. With this in mind, we can have again two different scenarios. As we were expecting this to be a WXY, we are expecting a three-way structure here for that wave Y. At the moment, it looks very impulsive. So at the moment, there is a possibility where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, creating a 5-way structure. There could be lower degree wave structures in here, but we'll take a look at those later once this whole thing is settled. Again, we have gone beyond the 1.618 extension of this first leg, so it favors a bit more of the third wave instead of this being the ABC, which would complete this whole wave Y already. Of course, it could be having one more high, and then we would get that bullish or bearish divergence here on the chart. However, if we would do that, we would not get to the one-to-one extension in price. So let's check out this one here. One-to-one in time would be around here of 17th of December. This definitely can take a day or two for this structure to be formed. So we'll see how fast this is coming up against again. It is not going to be perfect look if we are going to be playing this as an ABC, just in comparison to this, because again, the time element here. However, if we are comparing it into this wave A of similar degree or same degree here, in price, we can see that it is going to be a bit larger, this first structure here. However, it is not too much larger. Again, we can compare it to seeing this, and I think the projections of 18.3k are very much realistic here before looking any kind of pivot downwards for that potential B wave. If it goes well beyond the 18.8k area, then I don't think this is very likely to be an A wave anymore, because again, at that point we would have to have structures like this, and then B wave and then 5 waves, and at that point we would most likely get well beyond the 1.618 of this wave Y, of wave W here for the potential projection for that wave Y. So again, we have to be analyzing this through the eyes of what is looking like it could be related to each other. Again, there is not really much to go on at the moment, as we have not even created this first potential wave A here. And this is still the more bearish view. Again, we have had quite a lot of overlaps between these waves, and that's why I still am somewhat favoring these ideas of having this as a WXY instead of these more impulsive Mumbai counts, right? But of course, we need to be acknowledging them. We had this before mentioned, where we had this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A wave or wave 1. Again, if this is an A wave, this is more correctively climbing up higher, creating some kind of ABC. The issue with this count is that this B wave here is so close, or the wave 2. as well. It is so close that it does not really make too much sense in my opinion. Again, in time as well, we can be comparing it to this whole structure, and we can see that we're not even close to 38.2. So this reduces the probabilities of this count significantly for me. However, again, as it is still playing out and not invalidated, we definitely need to be tracking this. In here, we would be looking at, again, this as a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, this third wave getting to the 2.618 extension. So we are playing with extensions here already. So it is likely that we are getting some kind of extensions on the higher time frames as well on this count. Let's put this back into wave 3 here. Get the coloring right. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we would be getting to the 18.4k for that fifth and completing that third wave up there, or even the 2.618, 18.7k. At that point, we would be closing on into that 18.6k, which would be again the one-to-one target. And here we have some time one-to-ones as well, around 20th of December. So if we get close there, then this might be turning into a primary, although again, we have to remind ourselves of this mess over here. So that is that. I feel like if we had to choose one of the impulse counts as main, I feel like we need to be choosing this. There is of course the more moon boyish count where we have this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Although we can see that the potential nesting pattern here is possible. Again, it is very less likely in my opinion again, although it doesn't even look half bad. Creating these nested patterns, and especially if we are creating more than 3, this being in the 4th, clearly visible on this time frame at least, it is reducing the probabilities. So again, that's why it is more of a hopium count than anything else. But for now, again, as this is playing that 5-way structure here, as it, at least it is looking like it is, we could definitely be still playing with this count, and yeah, until some invalidations happen or some kind of very long extended structure here happens, we can definitely be looking at this as well. So these were the structures that were being tracked. Let's take a look at the smaller time frames here. I was toying with an idea here with a short, did not take it because again we did not get there. Some of the ideas originally where I was taking this long from here yesterday was based on the daily and the one-to-one as mentioned before, and I'm still on this long. I do expect this to go higher. These were the previous count extension targets or the labelings that I had. At the moment, these definitely can be changed up quite a bit. There is a chance, however, that this is indeed a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this would be a 5th. But again, it is so large in comparison that it just doesn't fit too well now. Let's take a look at what we have here. At this point, we would have to have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's actually measure this out, seeing what kind of structures we are going to get. So if 3 is not extended, this kind of structures, and maybe it's the 2.618. It's close to the 2.618. It could be that this is done here, and this structure over here it would be something different. I would be getting more. I would most likely get on board that this would be done if we are taking out these lows on RSI here on around 15-minute time frame probably. But again, that is so far away at the moment that I don't really think that we need to be thinking about that as a possibility. Not really much going on here. We see that this is some kind of potential fireways coming down, but we have overlap here. We see these wicks getting overlap between these highs here. So maybe there is some kind of potential diagonal in here. Again, not really clear structure. This could definitely be just a 1-to-1 extension or 1.236 extension. If we are measuring it here, yeah, 1.236 extension. If we are creating some kind of WXY here, again, this was such a fast wick, we can't really get a wave structure in there. This, however, This last leg here looks very one-to-one and looks very three-wave-ish, so that's why I was thinking that this whole thing would be a WXY with a bit larger extension here on Y. The rest of the structure is very corrective here, so at the moment, if I had to be choosing the count from these tops, I would almost like to see that we would be doing something like this, downwards a bit. The issue with this one is that on the other counts that I was looking at, depending on where you're pulling the fibs from, you would be looking this as the potential fourth wave here. So maybe we would just use this one instead. At the moment we have retraced to 32. 0.5 would be right around this order block here. So that would be the last bit I would want to see touched. If it goes beyond this, then I don't think this is anymore too impulsive. So if we start to doing something like that, I feel like we need to be looking downwards again. There are of course short possibilities here, somewhere over here. I'm not quite sure, however, how good those are, because again, we have to remind ourselves, if this is a three-way structure that I just mentioned, the only invalidation we can have is this B wave here, which would be 18.4K. So what would we be targeting would be something like this, a 3% stop loss. And where are we expecting this structure to go to? Is it this 0.5 retracement, 0.66, 0 to 66 risk to reward? That is not worth taking. Not even here at 1-to-1. It wouldn't be worth taking, in my opinion. I personally always want to have the 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio here, at least on any trade. So I don't think that is very valuable to trade. And that is just because, again, this structure is not clear here. Of course, we can just do that, and then we are missing a trade. But again, this is not a clear 5-way structure. We don't have a clear divergence at these ends. And again, that speaks more towards that 3-way structure. If we are pivoting and going back up into here, where we have the range high, where we could be, let's see, what do we have? Let's go to 1 hour. And this is the peak that we had on 10th of November. If we go back here into these highs, then we could be looking at a potential short possibility downwards. But before that, I don't think we have anything else. Again, shorts would be against these highs, and then we would be targeting somewhere lower. But of course, we don't know what and how this is actually going to get there, if it even is going to get there. So that is definitely another time to take a look at that trade, if it even happens. But I think those are the things that I would be tracking at this very moment. Not really a trade worth taking, in my opinion, but definitely keep track on Bitcoin for sure. I'm still in the long, looking for a bit higher highs to take more profits. I think I've taken like 50% already off, and yeah, I'll just keep the rest running up to these highs at least. But that is going to do it for this video. If you made it this far into the video, again, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.